Hey guys, so today, as you can tell probably by the title of this video, this angle's fucking weird, ignore it. We are trying to tell the difference between an English muffin and a crumpet. So I've been on this Discord and these streams lately, and we've been talking a lot about trying to find the difference between an English muffin and a crumpet, because in pictures they look very similar. And I've never had a crumpet before because nobody eats crumpets here. So I finally decided to get my boyfriend to buy me a crumpet. We already had English muffins. I have them on hand like all the time. So I bought some and I toasted some and I put some butter on them. Bam. Look at that. So, English muffin, crumpet. Very similar in size, very similar in, I don't know, backs. This one looks a lot more like a pancake and it also feels a lot more like a pancake. I'd also like to note this English muffin does not look like the English muffins I usually eat. This is one of the really cheap store brand English muffins that's like the cheapest English muffins you can get. But usually the English muffins I get have a lot more holes in them. So it looks a lot more crumpet-like with the amount of holes. In fact, usually the English muffins I get have more holes than this. It's more like this is like direct holes. English muffins that I usually get are more like craters. So it's like really big, ridgy craters. Whereas these crumpets are very distinctly holes, as you can kind of see here. Also, my crumpet's self-destructing. These just have butter on them. So it shouldn't disrupt the flavor too much. The other things I would like to note about the difference between an English muffin and a crumpet, now that I actually am holding both, is this feels like bread, the English muffin. It's very like bready, it's very like dense and kind of breakfasty. This guy feels like a pancake. So I'll hold both of them up and you can even kind of tell by the bottom of like, this is what bread might look like. And this is kind of like, if you made pancakes, they'd kind of get this coloring. But like, sorry. Let me show you on this plate if I can do it. I can't. So I'm just going to have buttery hands. And that's just going to be how it is. So, size-wise, they're actually a lot more comparable. When I saw them online, crumpets looked a lot bigger. And of course, these are just grocery store-bought crumpets. These are just grocery store-bought English muffins. So maybe a fancy one would be the same, but they're actually very size comparable. Like if you stick them up, you can tell the difference. But the main difference is in squish factor. So my hands are so shaky, don't mind me. If you squish them, that's a weird sound. But like, these just kind of squish more by the nature of the holes, I suppose. But they're really just more of a pancakey texture, whereas this is more like bread. Like, I would eat this in replacement of bread. I would eat this in replacement of a pancake. Like, it looks more like a pancake. It feels more like a pancake. It has that, like, squish. It just kind of squashes right down, whereas this kind of, I don't know. I guess this squashes right down, but it just feels so different in the hand. That's all I can explain is, like, it just feels different. So I'm also gonna, oh my god, I'm so covered in butter. Ugh. I'm also gonna eat them, and you're gonna watch me eat, which is gonna be weird. I'm currently in bed because it's the only quiet place in my house, and this is also diagonal, and it's all a mess. I should have brought, give me a minute. Just give me a minute. Okay, I brought some paper towel back with me. So I have English muffin, crumpet. I, for the record, put these both in the toaster because I toast my English muffins, and I figured I'd toast my crumpets. And as you can tell, the crumpet got a lot more toasted. For an English muffin, I'd put it on a lot longer, but I do worry about the crumpet with its texture. Like, it's so spongy. That's what I'd say. Like, an English muffin is bready. A crumpet is spongy. It's very, like, I don't know, just spongy. It's just so, and it, like, rips apart way more easily. Like, it's already kind of falling the hell apart. I don't know if you can see that very well, but it is crumbling. So I'm going to take a bite of both of these. I'm going to start with the OG English muffin. I've had a million English muffins in my lifetime. So the English muffin tastes familiar to me. Like I've said, I've had it a million times. It tastes like bread. It just tastes like a loaf of bread, but English muffin sized. And now, oh my god, for the crumpet, which will not stay up, I guess another thing to note is this is way less rigid. It is very much like pancakey. So I'm going to try and describe the flavors to you. They taste very similar. Like I said, English muffin, bready. It just tastes like you took a loaf of bread and bit into it. The crumpet, which is falling apart and does not look that appetizing anymore, frankly. I don't know, it tastes very similar. It doesn't taste like bread. Let's start with that. Like an English muffin, I'd qualify as bread easily. The crumpet, not quite bready. It really is kind of like a pancake, but like a very bland, boring pancake. These are also, I know there's some buttermilk crumpets. My boyfriend ate them all though, so I cannot taste those for you. It's just like very plain, doesn't taste like anything, kind of like pancakey. It doesn't quite taste like a pancake, but it's much closer to a pancake than the English muffin, which is very close to bread. It's very spongy. The texture is very like smooth in a way that an English muffin is more kind of gritty, whereas this is very smooth and like kind of, it's smooth and spongy. That's really all I can say about it. It's smooth and spongy and kind of very plain tasting. It's like almost a pancake. Like when you get those pancakes that are just filled with holes and it's cooked in that way where it's just like air pockets everywhere. It's kind of like that, but more spongy, more just kind of, I don't know how to explain it. It's just like squishy and spongy and kind of moist. I'm not making this sound very appetizing, but it is quite good actually. There is a difference. I can tell you for a fact there is a difference. English muffins taste like better bread, and this tastes like a different kind of pancake. It's like a pancake, but not quite, and an English muffin is like bread, but not quite. This is like way more spongy and textured, and just like, it really does feel kind of like a sponge, like you're squishing a wet sponge, and then this is just like bread. It's just bread. English muffins are basic bitch bread. And I hope this video is so stupid. I love it. But I hope in some way, shape, or form this helps explain the difference between a crumpet and an English muffin. The age-old question has been solved. If you can find some crumpets, I would recommend you do this test because it's very interesting and they do not taste how I thought they would at all. And also, I very much did not understand the difference between the two before I got them. They looked the same. I was like, okay, maybe it's a bit more, I don't know, fluffy, but there can't be that much of a difference. But there really is. It's really just like a pancakey versus a bready kind of thing going on. And that's the main difference that I can taste, is like spongy, pancakey type thing versus like very bread roll typed pastry. So that's the difference. I hope that helps solve your question. I'm gonna upload this to the internet now for reasons. And in 10 years, maybe it will go viral. Who knows?